Welcome to Spirit Baby Radio. You are about to join a frequency that will open your mind, expand your heart, and activate your spirit. Thank you for joining Kelly Meehan, Spirit Baby Medium and Master Energy Therapist. Kelly believes in the power of the Spirit Baby. She speaks with babies in spirit before life, in the womb, and after life. She supports, teaches, and guides others to tune into the intuitive and mystical parts of life for greater wisdom. Join her in meeting your soul baby and build your connection and relationship with deep love and trust. Welcome to Spirit Baby Radio with your host, Spirit Baby Medium, Kelly.
Welcome to episode 155, January 6, 2023. Children of the New Earth, 2023 Insights and Healing Visions with Spirit Baby Communication. What does it mean by New Earth? Who are these souls birthed into this time? How do you nourish and care for your spiritually special child? Are you ready to step into agreements of healing? Welcome, welcome. Hello, hello. Happy New Year. 2023. Wow. I feel like, isn't everybody talking about the past few years? Did we even think we would land to where we are right now? And let me ask you, in self-reflective spaces of your own heart, how expansive have you grown in these past 3 years? I know there's probably many of you like, oh my gosh, Kelly, like major transformation. And maybe in those major transformation, there was such deep heartache, or maybe you're still questioning what the hell does even transformation mean? It doesn't matter, does it? What really matters is wherever you are in perfect alignment. Your frequency is in the vibration of change and of its highest octave, we'll say. And you are where you are meant to be. And that doesn't mean, oh, well, then you could sit back and just do nothing. And I'm so boring, or I suck, or I'm this, whatever all those fears the inner critics say is just that. Because the truth is, like baby being, you are a spark. You are a spark. And in that spark is so much information. There's so much energy. There's so much love. There's so much to be expanded within that space of spark. And you may be questioning your journey. You may be in a conception journey, pregnancy journey, or you may be healing through your birth loss journey, and maybe you're even having miscarriage, or you've had a later loss, stillbirth, and maybe infancy loss, and then you question everything. Your world is upside down, and the trauma in the heart digs deep when there's loss or grief. And yet you are here, you are tuning in, that some other part of you is asking you to step forward in such a deep way. And of course, in the 2023 energies, I want to say I'm not one of those people that give future predictions. And I feel like there's a restructuring of psychic future predictions, or what will the world bring, because people don't really know 100%, right? Even the best of the best don't really know. And maybe there's even energy that we are all creating together into New World consciousness. And I do feel the New World energy is here right now. And I know maybe people aren't seeing it with their eyes or feeling it in the presence of their space through action, but it is here now. And the more that our frequencies get to tune into knowing that connection, knowing that potentiality, it is here. And so now it is about manifesting it into the form of truth. And just like your connection with baby being, how is baby coming into your life? And are you setting the energies up in ways where you can be fully open? And I don't mean just open, like, hey, I'm going to open my energy and any non-human human energy just come to me. No, the energy of you, the energy of your child, you feel this in your heart. There is a reason why you feel spirit baby being in your heart. It's not coincidence. It's not magic. It's not your imagination. So scrap all those things away and really make space, dropping into the more infinite part of you. And I'm sure that you are so tired of mental energy, controlled energy, feared energy, energy that really allows the inner critic to take over. That is not your frequency. That is not your reality. You can have moments of dipping down into the fears, right? Into the sea of fears, into the ocean of fear, but you don't stay there because there's no reason for you to stay there. And I believe in you enough to shift your energy up and outward. And here's the thing, the spirit baby beings in the worlds of souls coming into creation, they don't want that either. These new humans are coming in with their own connection to how they see the world. And as through the years, many have said the future of children of now, these children, I love calling them the new earth children because there's always going to be new earth children, realistically. There's waves, right, of consciousness and change. And if you look back, I'm going to talk about what does that even mean, the children of the new earth, if you kind of shift back, my gosh, even 50 years ago, we can even say 50 years ago and even more, some would believe that consciousness was really in a deep awakening. And in that awakening, the earth was sprinkled with indigo children and before the indigos. And then throughout the years, oh, look, the crystal children are here. And then throughout the years, the rainbow children are here. And then further on, the golden children are here. The star children are here. What other children do we have? The new earth children are here. The luminous children are here. The silver children. I feel like there's the diamond children. I think I've heard all these different words throughout the years. And I think it's so beautiful and magical because here's the thing. There's no such thing as one philosophy. Ah, doesn't that feel amazing? That the philosophy and energy that we are all weaving together through consciousness as each human being, adult and child, elderly, we're all weaving levels of light into each other in so many different ways. And this before life place is no longer allowed to be a great mystery. How about that? Your 2023 conception, pregnancy intention is you are present, you are listening, and you are here. And so nothing has to be out there anymore. Everything is just here right now. And you are in deep union and connection and communication with your baby being or beings. And only you can step into that. Nobody can make you go there. It does not work that way. And I'm thinking about maybe I'm coming into 10 years in this work. Oh my gosh. Maybe it's coming into 10 years in this year at some point. Sounds so wild to say that. And so I feel like it was just yesterday I was doing my first spirit baby reading. I was scared. Like, what am I going to say? What if this person thinks I'm wrong or they hate me or whatever the things you think of, right? In those infancy spaces, feeling vulnerable and yet feeling still the deep calling in your heart space to go, okay, something's happening. And how am I listening to the consciousness of reality? And it's not just me. Many others can do that too. But I've known for a very long time, more than 20 years or 30 years probably, I've recognized that I could hear humanity energetically all together, consciously shifting and moving. And at first I thought, wow, there's a lot to feel. That's a lot to feel. And then I realized it's become a normal part of my world. And I hear it again. We're in January 2023, and I hear it. I hear consciousness. And what I can say is this is the time of really living through the own rhythm of your own heartbeat, through your own consciousness, through your own art, wisdom, and creativity. It's not about going externally outside of yourself and following the tribe, the conformed community. It's really not about that. It's like your own spark has creative intelligence. And I'm so excited by that because what it means is that you bring the flavor of you forward. You add it to the beautiful pot of food of other enlightened and connected people that are in your level of consciousness. You come together and you buzz at your frequencies together and you create that spark, that light, and that creative soup, we'll call it. And here's the thing, nobody is wrong for what they add to that soup. And that's the thing that feels so loving and compassionate, I feel like is so important. And when you know that and you stand in the strength and the power of that, you will see the unlimitedness of your connection to who you are, your eternalness, and even between worlds of energy that feel a sense of ease. And that all this other drama, this energy that creates drama of past pains, past wounds, then just becomes a part of something in the background. And so I stepped forward with you in that higher frequency to really accept that motherhood, parenthood is your right. It is here. It wants you. And yes, you may be changing lineage. You may be working with levels of multidimensional connections and realities. And I want to continue to step forward for others that are on that journey. As long as I'm being present to it, I don't want to say pushed to it or told to it. No one's telling me, no one's pushing me. I want to really just listen to the deeper energies of light and seeing, oh, where is the next movement? And of course, this is why last year I did open and create the Spirit Baby Academy. And in the Spirit Baby Academy, Spirit Baby intuitives, taking them in to learn more deeper ways of conscious conception, conscious pregnancy, conscious birthing, and working with the children of the new earth. And I wanted to start that in January 2023, but what I realized, the calling needs to come in the spring. And so that will be shifted to join as a student for the Academy starting spring 2023, which I think could be either February, March. And you can stay connected with that, because here's the thing too, the children of the new earth. What are we doing with the children of the new earth to bring them into these healing and powerful transformative births? And it's not like that a lot, right? We see this a lot, that birth still has an echoing energy of pain, suffering, disease, and sickness. And I know it's changing. It's changing not just with hospital birth policies, it's changing with freedom for women to birth how they want to. There's no rules on birthing. Birthing through a birthing center with midwives, birthing at home with midwives, or birthing at home as a free birther. Having your own connection and choice to make your own rules on the conception into pregnancy, or to even into birth journey. And that's the right of all people, that we get to listen to what works and what really feels and sings inside our being. And it's a hard place to go into, because a lot of women, couples do make choices out of fear, and you will make choices out of fear on your conception journey. And you may notice that that can be quite positive and quite negative at times, because we have to make our own choices, and it can be really scary because we don't know, maybe, or the fear is so present and so palpable, and it's like, here, I could touch it and taste it. And that fear, can be quite powerful. But then we have to know where the balance is. And so you're moving into pregnancy and deep communication with your child, and you feel not feeding the fear of what you should and shouldn't do based on a cultural quote unquote norm, or what the doctors say, or what this is. Really, you are the person, the highly intuitive person that gets to say, you know what, this does not work for me. I don't want this. I want to do this. I don't want that. And that is the right of any human being, that we get to be not owned by our outside external pressure or fear, or being documented, or part of systems. I feel like we get to be, and I know this word, a lot of people hear this word, but it's a great word, is sovereign beings. And I pause here because I think of my friend who named her baby Sovereign. Like, wow, like imagine naming a child of the new earth has a name about something so powerful. It's such a big message to me. And not that we're holding this child to some golden Buddha, but he probably is a little secret energy, healer, just sharing his love with the world more than he realizes. And many of baby beings are like that. And, what are these souls birthed into this time? And I'm sure many different intuitives have different psychic awarenesses or connections with it. And I want you to know that your child, how do you even nourish your child, your spiritually special child? I feel like all children have a special reason for being here. Every single baby that comes into creation in this reality has a beautiful spark of purpose. And sometimes parents don't know that. They just don't even see it, right? We see this with some stories of wanted and unwanted, journeys. And so there's always something. We're not, it's not random. The earth is not random, right? It's just not like, oh, it's the luck of science. There's no such thing. There's an energetic orchestration, I would say. There's things in play and energy working off of other energy. And maybe you question that. Maybe you're in pregnancy. Maybe you know that. You're like, yes, I know that. I'm stepping deep into it. I'm accepting it. Or maybe you're not sure even what that means. And now you're just awakening to your child's, essence and that connection. And remember, there's no shoulda, coulda, wouldas. It's like, it's never too late. Your connection can be just in moments. Energy accelerates within moments. And maybe you even question the new earth energy and are your children ready? Are you ready? Is your partner ready? And I use the word agreements of healing because I do feel like there are some deep agreements, and those agreements go into lineage and ancestor. And here's the thing. Yeah, it sucks, but you know what? This is a real thing. There are ancestral issues and traumas that are being healed through you. And I can't pretend that's not true. And that could be very, deepening for many people, especially with multiple losses or really rare losses or things that are happening in that world between spirit energy and life and death. And so I'm not going to pretend that it's just randomness or accidental or coincidental. There's something deeper, and there may be something, even if you've had in that experience of loss, there's something on the journey for you that you get to judge, you get to suppress, or you get to expand and transform. I mean, you literally have different options. And I say that because I've met people in at the thresholds of grief and just deeply heart torn open and just feeling, where is the floor? I can't even stand on the floor. It doesn't exist. It's like that deep ungrounded, pain and suffering. It's such a true experience, and yet it's an experience. It's just one moment in that time of breath and feeling, and then you shift and move into each moment and see what each moment brings. And this is why in the bereavement community, I feel like a very big thing is to go into, well, what's today like? It's like, what's this moment? And I do feel as human beings, when we're living in moment to moment and present, we get to be at our most brilliant. Really think about that. Ah, the past, man, it really lassos us in and chains us down. And believe me, and like, I get it. I get it. It sucks sometimes. It's like, oh, but then what happens when your frequency continues to change and shift in a very egoless place that you can step forward and be the true frequency of you? When I say frequency, I mean your soul, your spirit, your spark. I just like the word frequency. I love that because it's like I'm a sound, I'm a orchestrated tune, like if my body dropped right now, what would I be? I would be a soul, a frequency, a light, a spark. And but what does that mean? It's like that is a connection that still exists. And this is why your spirit baby communication relationship exists, even though their body may be under construction or in the works, or you may be building a baby being right now in your body. What a beautiful gift to Earth and to the new Earth. And so I want to share a little bit more New Year's energies. Not really New Year's. I mean, it's like Okay, greatest news. I think we're getting bored of New Year's, but but this is on the calendar of humanity, the new year. For this month, as I said, I've shifted the Spirit Baby Academy, and but in this month was always going to happen is co-creation, a journey with Spirit Baby. And that is 7 weeks of energy change, connection, consciousness, and Spirit Baby communication. And I want to plug that a little bit because I feel like get this energy in the space to then work through all these weeks of really stepping into that change and that connection. What is bringing you connected on this conception journey with baby being? And I really absolutely adore those that join and the connection and community we get to build over those weeks, because you're not just in the live class getting your frequency tuned in at that very moment to where you are, but you're getting Spirit Baby Oracle messages, you're getting other fun things in there. And I say fun because it is serious and there's a lot of energy to change through the meditative work and body exercise. But there's also fun and light and connection because it's about you and your baby being and connecting in that deep way, bringing presence into the space. And in that, you get to join the Spirit Baby Collective monthly membership for 2 months, which is another place you're going to be inundated with all the Spirit Baby goodness over. You're going to be, soaking in it for those months. And then you're going to see what serves you next and how to keep continuing. And some actually in the past, has it been 2 years now, this co-creation program? I want to say it's been here 2 years. There have been women that have become pregnant in the middle of it, which is very exciting, or after, and some still working towards expanding. And I invite you, if you're on a conception journey, to come check out Co-Creation, a journey with Spirit Baby, 7 weeks. And just shifting back into Children of the New Earth. Maybe I should share a story. Don't you just love children? Children are so great. I have my boys, and yes, it can be very stressful. And yes, I make a lot of mistakes. And yes, I have to have a lot of forgiveness. But I realize more and more expanding. I absolutely I love supporting conception, pregnancy energy, and healing loss energy. And I love supporting infants. I always feel like there's not enough of me to go around, but I imagine when I used to do infant development therapy that connecting with the souls of infants on the other side, it feels so fun and joyful. And even when babies do have a struggle, that's there too. And that connection is there. And I really adore working with that physical embodiment and seeing the eyes, the body. And I even will even shifted into looking at children, like especially children that are older, like between the ages of, I'd say 8 and maybe teenage years. There's something different about children's language and how they talk, communicate, and connect, especially my psychic children. Where are you, my psychic children? You are there. And I have to share this story. I ran into this boy. He's so sweet. Kind of had short hair, longish short hair, and his presence was so gorgeous. And I'm trying to read these little dips. I love this Mediterranean dips. I'm like, oh. And then he's next to me, literally touching my arm. I'm like, oh, it's this little boy, big, almost as tall as me. He's a tall boy. He's like 11 years old. And I'm bending over and he's like, oh, here. And he was trying to help me read it. I felt like an old lady. He's like helping me read. I was like, oh, I can't really see it, but okay. And then I just looked at him and I turned around to his mom and I'm like, wow. And he walked away. The boy walked away, like just looking at something else. I said, wow. And I just said it. I said, wow, he's such an empath and he's just so sensitive and so present. And the mom was like, what? And she was like, wait, what's happening? And then she kind of was curious in what I'm talking about. And I says, your son. And she's like, yeah. And I started explaining to her who her son was. And she was really surprised. Like, who am I? I'm a stranger standing here at the farmer's market telling her about her child. And to me, it's so obvious. It really is. I'm like, oh, there you go. I could pick out empaths in the crowd. Like I could just go, there's one. They're just there. Their energy is different. They are more sensitive. Their electromagnetic sensitivity is strong. Their heart is compassionate and strong and sensitive. And there are many different ranges of empaths. And so I told her, we talked a little bit more and I said, well, I do this work with babies and I didn't get into the details of it. And then she was like, well, I want your business card. I was like, well, I don't really work with children, but I'm like, I'm putting my energy out there to form more of group energy with children from these certain ages, older ages of conversation who do have empathic abilities and connection, who have psychic connection too. Because I feel like we need to create spaces for our children, our spirit baby beings, become earthside, they become infants, toddlers, children. But what if you have a child that has a lot to say about past lives, about seeing spirits, elementals, all kinds of spirit energies, star energies, galactic energies? And how do we then, I want to say normalize it, but really just allow the children to have their connection, because this is really authentic living and being. It's not saying, oh, it's your imagination, or you don't know, or you're scaring me. This is where a lot of you adults have probably suppressed a lot of your psychic connections and your visions and your galactic awarenesses, angelic presence, and all those things. And so our newer children, they don't have to do that. They don't have to fight through all the grime and grunge that we have been fighting through to make space for children to be who they are, whether they are profoundly psychic or whether they're not profoundly psychic. Can we nourish and love that creative force within them in that more, in that purposeful, present way? And so, so this mother, it was such a great experience to connect. And it just made me go into the questioning the new earth children and that love of watching children grow and have their own connections. And I love being a listener to that. And I wish that for all people. I wish that for you as an adult, if you didn't get it. And I wish that for our children, because they're the ones that are the future. And what future will they build if they're inauthentic, they're suppressing and conforming? That is no future. That's called jail. And so the future of freedom, the future of love, of connection, synergy, means that we have to allow our multidimensional spirit baby beings to grow into those next expanded levels. And so no matter where you are, welcome where you are. And maybe even reflect and ponder, what is the children of the earth? Like, what does that mean? It can be a nice place to go into deep self-reflection and what healing is being held for you and for maybe your community, for your family, and really sitting and being in that space and being in awareness with it. And maybe even meditating and what comes from this new year energy, the new earth energy, the new baby being energies that are coming into this healing time. And I want to send you off with 2023. This is the year for you to be you, and let your baby being show you the way that they can come and guide you into their own creative force. And if you've had loss and you're not sure what that means, let that being still guide you in love and connection. And again, no matter where you are, you're a spark, baby's a spark, and keep sparking away into 2023. And I want to thank you for joining this episode 155, Children of the New Earth 2023 Insights and Healing Visions with Spirit Baby Communication. If you like my podcast, please subscribe and leave reviews. As always, join my newsletter. You get a video meditation, a Spirit Baby 101, kind of give you tips on how to connect. And also check out my book. It's a journal, Sacred Communication, a Spirit Baby journal, and Spirit Baby Oracle cards, Soul Answers from Spirit Baby, and you can find those at my website. Thank you again so much for joining.
This is Spirit Baby Radio. Thank you for joining Kelly in the energy of awareness, love, healing, and soul communication. Please join the next episode at www.soulbabycommunication.com.